Hello!
You there! Welcome to our premiere episode of A Spoonful of Theatre!
I'm TJ, theatre practitioner, director, and performer.
And I'm Sam, a teacher of language, literature, and self-proclaimed show business lovey.
Now, this is our podcast where we spill the tea on all things Singapore theatre.
It's tea time! And this is our special preview episode to give you a little sip of what's to come on this podcast.
Absolutely. So, pop the kettle on,
Grab a bicky.
and let's add a spoonful of theatre to sweeten up your day. Sam,
TJ,
we're here.
We're here.
We're in a podcast studio.
We have microphones in front of us.
We do, and we are making our very own podcast. It's happening!
It's happening, my God. It's been a few months, hasn't it?
It has. It's been a few months in the planning. Now, we might be talking to ourselves if no one's listening, but if you are listening to us right now, thank you so much. There might just be two of you. It might be our mothers. But if anybody else is listening, we thank you for listening to this podcast.
Dear, it won't be my mother. She barely knows how to use Facebook. But no, so to your mother, to TJ's mum, thank you for listening.
Absolutely. But this is so exciting.
It really is. It really is exciting because we thought about this a few months ago. We've talked about nothing else since.
Yes.
And we're now in a studio with microphones, with equipment. Which I have no bloody clue what does. I just press a button and it goes red, and apparently I talk into this thing. But yes, we are here.
We are here, and we hope that you will be here with us on this journey
Yes.
of podcasting. We're podders now.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so, but who are we? Who are we?
Oh.
I ask myself that all the time.
I bet you do, dear. Now, I had an idea for this.
Oh, go on.
I had an idea for this. Now, it'd be very easy for us to roll out our CVs of,
Yes.
of who we are and what we do.
But then our two
and-
listeners will be switched off within about 10 seconds.
Well, especially if they have to listen to your CVs. Sweetheart. It's a lot longer than mine, I tell you. Now, don't be rude. Now, no, let's do it differently. Let's describe each other. Let's identify.
Oh, how fun.
Because we're best friends. We've known each other for 10 years.
Yes.
Let's see what adjectives we'll use for each other.
Absolutely. Who's going first?
You, because I came up with the idea.
Okay, sure. So as you said, we're best friends. We've been best friends for 10 years. And we're both from the UK. And obviously we've both lived in Singapore for 10 years. And we both love Singapore theatre. Okay. We both love Singapore theatre. But Sam, you are as you say, a theatre lovey. Okay, so you do love the theatre and you love going to the theatre, but you're not necessarily from a theatre background,
No.
okay? You're very much a English and French major, okay? However, you did go on the cruise ships. Yes, you did, ladies and gentlemen, in our episodes. If you hear this noise, Sam has mentioned that he was once a performer on the cruise ships. Yes.
Yes, I was. I was a host and MC, deputy cruise director, DJ, pantomime dame.
Lovely. Okay, that's enough CV. So yes, he was on the cruise ships and he was a performer. And you also still do perform every now and again at the Musical Theatre Open Mic Night, which is where we've been hosting for a long while.
Yes.
And I'm sure if anyone is listening, probably knows us from there the most,
Yes.
I imagine. So you are a performer and host, and I think you bring to this podcast you bring the regular person's perspective.
The everyman.
The everyman. You are the everyman. But no, you are a theatre fan's perspective, I think. You're a theatre fan's perspective that brings the inquisitive nature. You're not embroiled in all of the dramas of theatre and all of the nuances. You're just asking what everybody, hopefully who's listening at home, wants to ask, which I think brings a lovely perspective to theatre podcasting.
It's a fun place to be in.
You know what?
They
I'm
say
jealous.
ignorance is bliss.
Genuinely, I would love to go back to there, but I think once you've trained and once you've been in theatre, your world is all you can't unthink it. So I can't go to watch a show now without knowing all of the things and having some sort of opinion. But anyways, yes, that's Sam.
Now then, TJ, I can do this very easily because I've said it before and I still mean it now. Maestro.
Oh,
I mean that with every definition of the word because I have had the wonderful privilege of seeing your career grow in Singapore. We both started off as enrichment teachers. and you then went on to Universal Studios, you went on to Evolve, you went on to Sing Theatre, to eventually become Associate Artistic Director. And in all that time, you were performing, you were acting, you were dancing, you were singing, you were vocal coaching, you were directing, you were producing. In one show, you were doing all that in one go, Little Shop of Horrors. And you truly are a master of your craft.
Oh, thank you.
And I am not the only person to say so. There is an army of young, talented people out there who I know will be listening and will feel exactly the same, because you have nurtured so much talent in this country. And it's wonderful to have watched that grow. So, yes, I can sum it up in one word: the maestro.
Oh, well, thank you, Sam. And yeah, I bring that theatre perspective to this podcast. So,
You do.
You know, I'll be coming at things with theatre knowledge and quizzing things from that perspective, which I think is interesting. So we come from two different sides.
Yes, there is a reason to that, isn't there? Because as TJ said, we've seen a lot of performances together, local and mass-produced.
International.
Beg your pardon, sorry. And we've gone and seen these performances, and we always see things from a different perspective. Usually I'll be dancing out of the auditorium doors because I've had such a marvellous show, and then she'll be walking behind me with a face like a smacked ass because somebody's done the wrong vocal technique. But that's exactly how we've always done it. And we always discuss shows afterwards of what we liked, what we didn't like, where things could have been better. And we often jump over each other's fence, don't we?
We do, yes. It's not a very big fence.
No.
No, because I think we do often have very similar opinions, but I think we come at it from a different perspective. So I think that made this kind of podcast. That's kind of the essence of why we're doing this.
Yes.
Because we're bringing together two different sides, hopefully the audience side and the performer side. So you get a peek behind the curtain with the performer, but you also get to ask those questions that you would maybe as an audience member.
Yes.
So what we wanted to do is, for me, as you said, you know, I've worked with some of the amazing performers that we have here in Singapore for the last few years, and everything I've ever done is about bringing people up and creating a community. And I wanted to showcase that community even more so, because both of us now are over in full-time education.
Yes, we are.
So this is honestly my way of just keeping my hand in, keeping in the theatre circle, but also lifting it up as well.
Yes.
I think, you know, we want to celebrate and shout from the rooftops
Yes.
on this wonderful medium that is podcasting, which has come up
Absolutely.
over the last few years. And there isn't a regular theatre podcast
No.
for Singapore theatre.
No.
And we wanted to change that.
We
said,
do.
It's our turn. We're going to give it a go.
So we'll give it to you straight. And how are we going to do that, TJ?
How are we going to do that? We are going to do that through 2 episodes, which would be our tea time main episodes. And that one is where we get interesting people from across the Singapore theatre space. So that might be an actor, it might be a director, it might be a producer. But not only that, it's also going to be the people that you maybe are not expecting. So the stage managers or the costume assistants or the design assistants, maybe even the front of house. You know, finding out what every single job in Singapore theatre is, and really kind of getting beneath the skin and finding out about all these people. So those are our main episodes, hopefully coming about once a month.
Yes, that's the aim.
That's the aim. And then what else are we doing, Sam?
Oh, but then after that, well, we put it out to the universe. What would you like in a Singapore theatre podcast? And one of the biggest, the most common answers was unhinged reviews.
We can do the unhinged, that's fine.
So we talked about this and we thought, right, well, we do this anyway, so let's just put it on a podcast medium. Let's spill the tea with the performances that we watch, and talk about straight out of the foyer what we thought of some of the performances that we're going to see, and I can't wait for that.
Absolutely.
I
So
really can't
those
wait for that.
episodes are going to be on location. Literally straight after we walk out of the theater, we pop the microphones on and have the same conversation that all of you guys, when you go to the theater, will
Yes.
have with your friends. And it's just going to be us chatting about what we thought of the show. So it's really outside the theater, and we'll give you that kind of perspective, hopefully just after a show opens. So then you can kind of go find out from the different sides whether it's something you want to go watch, which just go watch everything in Singapore, folks. Honestly, support our local theater because it really is absolutely amazing. So
Definitely.
that's our two things we're going to be doing. We've got our main episodes and our Spill the Tea episodes, and it's going to be myself and Sam taking you through on hopefully a very fun journey, and you're welcome to join us on that journey with all of these amazing things we're going to be doing.
But of course, there is something that you need to do, dear listeners, and that is, of course, follow us on our social media. So we do have our Instagram, which is...
A Spoonful of Theatre.
And then we have our Twitter, which is at ASOT, ASOT.
Just to mix things up a little bit.
Just to mix things up a little bit. We do have Facebook.
Facebook is also out there as well. You can follow us on Facebook.
We will eventually have a TikTok eventually, once this old queen can figure it out. But please follow us on the socials. Get in touch. Comment, like, share, subscribe. That's what the all influencers say nowadays.
Absolutely. Yes, we're that now.
Yeah. And of course, you must stay tuned for our first exciting guest, but we will announce that on our social media.
Yes, so follow us over there. And also, very importantly as well, whichever podcast platform you're listening on, follow us on there as well, and click the notification bell, because then you will find out when our new episodes are released. So definitely will be on Spotify, Apple Music, and whatever podcast platform you can find. And you will get all these beautiful episodes coming up.
Right. Now, my tea's gone cold, love, so should we leave it there?
I think we should. But I hope that has whet your appetite for our podcast, and we hope to welcome you. So please share, tell the world. We want to make sure that this is an exciting platform to uplift our amazing Singapore theatre artists. So stay tuned and you'll find out our exciting guest soon.
Fabulous. Yes, we can't wait to be giving you all these reviews, all these interviews, and really finding out about the nuts and bolts of this marvellous industry in this marvellous country.
Now, Sam, this has been wonderful. We've worked out this podcast studio, and if you've listened to this, we've worked out how to get it online as well. Amazing. So that is all for our preview episode, and all that's left to say is thanks for listening.
Thanks to all our friends who made this happen, but cheerio, we'll be back soon.
And ta-ra for now.
And to all those involved in Singapore theatre for this month, break a leg.